Hi everyone, this is Hal and welcome to Travel Know-How. So today I am about half an hour north of Warsaw in an area of Bielany, and I'm in a mid-woodland area. It's dotted in between apartment units and factories, but this area is a fairly popular walking spot for people with dogs. So I figured I'd just have a walk around and see what there is to explore here, and it's been absolutely remarkable given that it is now heading towards the middle of spring, summer, and what really attracted me to this place was the wild cherries. So obviously with the snow all gone and with the flowers all in bloom several months ago, I came back to check what plants these were that were blooming so many white flowers. This place here is loaded with cherries right now, and I'm out to pick what I can to make a couple of chocolate cherry cakes and whatnot in the kitchen. So I just want to flip the camera around, show you what there is growing here, because there's heaps of things. There are cherries growing on here. Obviously not all of them are plump and fat like the ones you see in the supermarket, but you can see up in the trees there you are, plenty of tiny little cherries all over the place. Some are sweet and some aren't, but wherever the seed drops, obviously extra cherry trees have been popping up. So there's another one over there, and looking around the place, it's just so green, and you have to sort of figure out what everything is. And I know this happens to be a brambleberry or blackberry vine growing. You also have a lot of woodland strawberries growing there. So these are woodland strawberry plants. I don't think there are any berries there right now. No. So you've got some very nice ruby red currants ripening up there, and they are just absolutely prolific and everywhere. So within another week these will all be ready, but I will start picking what I believe will be ripe and red and ready to go. You also notice that there's a lot of snails everywhere. There's one up on the tree there, but when it rains, literally the snails are everywhere, all over the forest floor. Right now they're on the plants as well. This is a crab apple plant here. So lots of little tiny apples on the plant there, and that's just random. So there's a lot larger ones growing up ahead as well, so keep on going and show what's around the forest. Oh, we come across some small plums. So they're obviously not ripe yet, but there you go. Plums, mini plums, they're everywhere all over this tree. Oh, speaking of which, there's the forest floor there. Heaps of woodland strawberries growing all over the forest floor. I just want to come up a bit closer. There you go, some cherries growing there. I thought I could reach up and pick some, but they're a little bit out of my reach, and the trees are very, very tall. That's a shame, but I'm sure the birds will have a good feast on that. Up down here, they're the flowers for the raspberries. Got raspberries growing here. There's also some wild grapes growing all over the place. I guess if you know your field plants, you'll be able to identify a bit more, get a bit of an idea of what's growing around, and enjoy the wild fruits that are growing all over the place. Got to keep an eye out for these stinging nettle, a bit all over the place. I haven't got stung yet, so lucky me. Wild plums, plum there hanging on the plant. Oh, there's some cherries there, in the foreground, and over there, see. Oh, some cherries. Ooh. Oh, look. There's some roses growing here, just randomly. Now, I'm not too sure if this is the cultivated one or one just growing wild, but that's an asparagus fern there. It's just growing randomly out in the wild. So that's a stalk there. I've seen quite a few pop up with a lot fatter, wider stalks. Lucky me, I've stumbled across a low crop of cherries and it is looking like it's ready for picking. Pick one there and have a try. Let's try a bit of the wild cherry. It's not too bad. This batch happens to be quite sweet and sour as well, but not super sour like some of the other ones. So this is like almost a whole forest of plums here, little tiny plums growing everywhere. I'm not too sure what color they are when they're ripened, but I've seen a lot of these varieties. They're actually orange when they're ripe. I do smell something sickly sweet, but I believe it's this plant here that is in flower. It has to be a stone fruit of something rather or another. I'm not too sure it is, but there's the flower. And yeah, literally this place was just full of plants with flowers everywhere when it was about a few months ago when things were just starting to warm up. Look at that, I just turned around and spotted another cherry plant there with fruit. So that's what I've been doing, just walking around and finding any bit of cherry that's looking a bit ripe and just pick it. There you go. But yeah, there's little cherry trees everywhere, literally straight out of the ground and already fruiting straight away. No wonder people just buy this from the nursery because it's so easy to grow around here in Europe. There's another plum as well. Hey. Oh, there's an apple tree in the foreground there. I'm not too sure if you can see it. I wasn't too sure if there was any fruit to show you, but looking down there, there you go. I don't think it's crab apple, but then again it could be. I'll have to come back here a little bit later on and see what all the stuff grows into. I was just about to pan away and turn it off there, but there's some more asparagus fern growing out of the ground randomly. I don't think this is the actual weed, because in Australia the asparagus fern that's a weed actually has thorns on it, and there's no thorns on it here, so yeah, it could be a domesticated variety that has escaped into the wild. Now, I'm not too sure how old this cherry plant is, but it's quite small. Who knows, the growth might be stunted, but it's got cherries on it too, so look at that. That's amazing. Right out of the ground. Tiny little plant. No more than maybe half a meter. Got some berries on it. That's how easy some of these stone fruits are just growing when it's got a good spot to grow. Woohoo! another lucky find for me. Look at this. Cherries loaded on this plant. It's so red. And I have to admit, I did try it before I filmed this, so this lot here is so sweet. And because it's so low bearing fruit, the birds haven't gotten to it and the bugs haven't gotten to it, so lucky me, I'll be harvesting all these cherries and I'm definitely going to have a big lot to bring back home. Oh, so lucky. Whoa, have a look around and there's some more cherries there on a slightly larger plant, and they're just all underneath the oak tree. Look at this. I almost walked past it without realizing, but here's another apple plant there. These little apples. This one's fairly healthy too, so it's got quite a good bumper crop of apples tucked away in there. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Apples. Not that large, but they look like they're bug free for now. Oh, it's more in the undergrowth. So after that walk, I've come back with a bowl full of cherries. Cherries, and more cherries. And also a container full of red currants. So that's not too bad for a bit of foraging around the local area while the fruits are in season. And it's time to sit down and enjoy the fruit, or start cooking and making something out of them.